Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great evening. And so today we're going to talk about what might be something akin to Zen copycats, right? Now, looking at something like Zen, a project that I've liked quite a bit. Uh, I've always preached look for good concepts over price. So the fact that Zen price might not be where I want it to be, for me to greatly complain about that would probably make me a hypocrite. So we're not going to do that. uh, but we are looking at maybe some other projects in the space that might feel they can do better, that might have similar concepts as in um, similar protocols, etc. And so I think the one that people are starting to hear about is one called TitanX that's only been out for, I'm not even sure if it's been out a month yet. It hasn't been out long. I believe the person who's the head of the project goes by the name of Jake Sharp. And this is a person who's kind of been around these communities, where it'd be like the post community. And then I think he might have got a little bit bothered by the post community for a time. And then he kind of got into Zen a bit. And what seems to be the idea of what he's done now is kind of tried to take the best of the worlds, right? To try to make take good components of the post ecosystem and incorporate it into the Zen ecosystem, and thus you have Titan X, right? Now, what are my thoughts on Titan X with the very limited information I have on it so far, besides it being another option to Zen? Now, I like options, right? You always hear me talk up options, and whereas I know some people talk down options because they probably benefited from first movers advantage, which I think is a kind of dishonest critique of other projects. If you kind of jumped in one that kind of took off, and maybe the other projects could be better, but because you got all your money in there, you don't want them to be better. I think that's a problem because it can limit progress, advancement, and so on, right? As it well will. Um, but I think in a more honest critique, you look at like, okay, is this really fundamentally doing something better? And looking at Titan X again with limited information, I haven't completed the white paper, but I will say this about it right off the bat. Um, it feels less like Zen than anything else. I would probably think it feels more like the post ecosystem, right? Post chain, because there is the ability to build products and things on Titan X, but on the protocol, but to mine the cryptocurrency, it looks like you have to purchase these miners, right? If I got that correct. And these miners now have gotten quite expensive, right? I think one's now is over $300, which means that this is going to soon become quite the exclusive club, right? So, I don't know exactly how that solves problems in that area, more like Zen. Maybe it's more of a direction against something like the post chain, because if as I understand it has a lower token supply, you can build on and so on, running on Ethereum, etc. And so maybe in that way, it would create more of a opportunity with price in a direct head to head with maybe like Pulse. I'm not sure if it can compare itself to Zen. Zen is a totally different animal. I base Zen running on Metcalfe's law. I would say Bitcoin MYK would be closer to a copycat of Zen, but even in that, because Bitcoin MYK predates Zen, I couldn't really even call it a copycat, right? So I don't know if copycat is the correct word for this video. In fact, I would go on to say that there is not quite any copycat in existence to Zen, right, that I'm aware of. If you know of some, please feel free to comment and leave them in the comment section. Let me know. But I haven't seen anything quite like Zen. So that's my thoughts on that. Will I get involved in Titan? If so, it will probably only be as a speculator. I'm not going to invest over $300. Probably be in the thousands if it keeps going. For the miner to mine TitanX. Not going to do that. So I'll be a very limited participant, and I'll probably only be wildly speculating on it. If I did involve myself with it to some degree, right? Wild speculation it would be. Um, I'm going to now talk about what might feel like a similar project to Zen. Again, I can't say it's a copycat because it predates Zen, but it's doing actually well this week. It hit as high as 3 cents this week. It went up real high. And that's Btcmyk. Let's get over there and just look at that real quick. All right, over on Btcmyk, I'm in my wallet. This is like the everything coin, but there's something very similar to this in Zen, and we're going to talk about it. But what I like about Btcmyk is in it being this everything coin. You mint your cryptocurrency based on social media engagement activity. The algorithm, the protocol takes that and converts it into a cryptocurrency, and it doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to pay fees. And I would say this is more similar to Zen minting because it's all about fair principles, fair starts, right? Um, and under Metcalfe's law, it grows the network, based on your participation, etc. Right? All these various things you do through this crypto algorithm that generates these coins for you, right? And in some aspect like that, I think that's a very, very interesting concept. Makes a lot of sense. Again, the problem with TitanX is this just seems more like a post chain type thing. Now, the post is already got a lot of money into it. It already got that notoriety as such. And to compete with that without having that liquidity, without having that presence and value, I think it's going to be a kind of hard, tough to do, right? Also, there doesn't seem to be anything unique happening with TitanX, right? It doesn't as far as I can see, it doesn't allow you to mint it free. It doesn't have the brand awareness that Zen has. It doesn't allow you to mint cryptocurrency free through social media activities, right? Like what Btcmyk does. So in that regard, it just doesn't feel, like it's something that competitively will be able to stand up against, whether Zen or Pulse. And, in the long run, probably not even Btcmyk. I can see it. Now, that being said, I don't think it's a bad idea for it to exist. I think it's good to have something like Pulse and some other, and a variety of versions of it. And the same thing with Zen and the same thing with Btcmyk. So I'm totally on board with that. But I mean, as far as an investment where you got to take money out of your pocket and buy these miners and so on and so forth, not a big fan of that. Not a big fan of that at all. If it was more like Zen where you could mint, you got, as many know, I don't even like these things run on Ethereum because I think the fees are too high rather than run on cheaper chains because I feel that you're putting yourself in a fundamental risk when you're paying those high gas fees. You might not be purchasing the cryptocurrencies directly, but you're paying a ton of money into these gas fees, which really is still translating into I'm spending a lot of money to acquire this cryptocurrency.